Hi guys! So I'm so excited to be doing a video for you guys again. I have taken some time off once again, and I thought what better way to come back than to better explain why I took some time off and to also help others in a similar situation. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about something that happened to me recently and how to get over that situation, because I feel like I've taken the time now to get over the situation and really truly better myself. So for those of you who didn't know, I recently went through a breakup about a month and a little bit over a month ago. I've gone through plenty of heartbreaks, and I know like with each heartbreak it kind of gets better, but at the same time it gets worse. So you kind of learn different like coping skills with them. It just kind of fully depends on the type of relationship that you had with the person and everything like that. So with my past relationship, it really was not a bad relationship at all. It was one of my better relationships. So it did not take as long to get over it, and I'm severely thankful for that. So I'm just going to be sharing some tips with you guys that I have experienced and found that really helped me personally, and will also hopefully help you guys if you're going through a same situation. So for my first tip I have is that you should always wallow a little bit and just kind of make yourself feel all the feelings that you're feeling, because if you don't feel everything that you're feeling, then you're going to end up suppressing everything, and that's not good because it'll eventually resurface and it could possibly be really harsh and really just not good. Like you could take all of that out on other people and it would just be so much more intense, rather than if you just went ahead and got all of the feelings out. So what I have noticed that I've done is that like in the past, and like pretty much with every single person that I've gotten heartbroken from, I've subconsciously like set myself like a week time limit to like feel everything that I'm feeling, and then after a week, normally all like the feelings of like bitterness, like basically the stages of grieving have kind of passed within a week, which I don't know if that's like a really short time or like a really long time, I don't know, but that time limit personally works best for me, because then that way I can kind of recoup and like regenerate after that week and everything's fine again. So my next tip is probably one of my favorite ones, and it's really important. It kind of goes along with the first one, I guess, and it is that keeping yourself busy only helps like in the short term, which I guess can help. But if you're constantly just keeping yourself busy, like following what everyone says to just stay busy all the time and just not to think about it at all, like along with the first one, that helps you suppress everything that you're feeling, and that's just not good, or else it's gonna come back out probably way worse than it was before. The way that I like to think of this one is that like at the end of the day, you always have to come back to yourself, and you're the person that has to deal with your mind. You have to deal with yourself at night, like when you're getting ready to go to sleep. And if y'all are anything like I am, like I always start thinking and like overthinking way too much like right before I go to sleep, because my mind doesn't have much else to think about. So like allowing myself to wallow like during any other sort of time, like it just helped. My third tip that also helps a lot is to block him. One is kind of hard to do, because if you're really close to someone, you don't really expect to like ever expect them to not be in your life, because while they're in your life and everything's great, it's like everything's perfect. You just always want to know what they're up to. You always want to know how they're doing. Going through a breakup, blocking him is going to be the best bet that you can do, because that way you're not always tempted to go to his profile and stalk him and see what he's up to, because chances are you don't want to know what he's up to. You don't want to know if he's hanging out with some girls, even like just going out with the guys. Like in the past, that's made me pretty jealous, because I'm like, why is he doing better than me? Why can't I go out with my friends and make everything look perfect, you know? Like you can make everything look perfect, but like on the inside it's not perfect, you know? Just blocking him is probably the best thing. Like as soon as I got broken up with, I went to Snapchat, because Snapchat's like my big social media thing, and I blocked him right away. And because that's the one thing that I see the most of him on. Like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, you can kind of mute them so that you don't see their posts, which is what I did, because I do want to know eventually what he's up to, and like no hard feelings. I want to see how he's doing in life, but I just don't want to, in the moment I don't want to see that. And even now I still get kind of weary about if he were to pop up on my timeline. I think that would kind of set me back just a little bit. So blocking him is definitely a really good idea. This next one that I have is to change something about yourself, or just something that you do, like your routine, like switch that up. Dye your hair, that is what I did. I went through this thing like after my week was up, and I was like, all right, it's time to dye my hair and time to get a haircut and time to just change some stuff about me. And I went shopping a little bit and wanted to kind of change up my style. Honestly, I really like that. I felt like a whole new person again, which is really awesome, because like when you break up with someone, you don't want to feel like the same person, because part of you feels like something's wrong with you, even if there's nothing wrong with you. So changing something about yourself will just give you so much more confidence and make you just feel brand new again. This next tip that I have is kind of in with the blocking, I guess, not really, but basically it is to not go back and like hook up with him or really talk to him much, like while you're still going through the grieving process. Like in my past relationships, I have always gone back to talk to them. Like I used to be really crazy, like I was psycho, and like I can admit that now. But I've learned to not be a psycho bitch and not to blow their phones up all the time, because I used to do that all the time when I would get broken up with my past relationships. I would blow up their phone and be like, why would you do this? Or, oh my god, are we ever gonna get back together? And I'd have these high hopes that we would get back together, because he, like, maybe they would reply to me and like talk to me and say like, oh, I miss you. So in my head I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get back together, and that just set up so many high hopes that just should not have been there. No, I'm a firm believer that you should not get back together with an ex. Like, you are an ex for a reason. Things went wrong for a reason. Things will also probably not be the same if you do decide to get back together, so it's just best to cut them off completely. With my last relationship that I just got out of, I chose not to talk to him after breaking up, except for like unless like one of us needed something from each other, which we really didn't. We've talked to each other maybe twice since we've broken up, and it's been a month. And for me, that's really accomplishing, because I used to be, like I said, I used to be really crazy, and I used to blow up their phones and whatever. But now that I'm past that, I just feel like talking to them, like after you're broken up, will just really set you back. It just takes way longer to get over someone. You generally develop like more hard feelings for that person, which you don't want. Like, I have no hard feelings toward my most recent ex. That's how I wish all my other relationships were. For my last tip I have is that dating apps probably are not the best idea. I know, like, whenever you break up with someone, you kind of want to download all these apps and just talk to people, which I mean is good if you just want to talk to them and like make some friends maybe, or just like find people to go out with. That's great. I'm all for that. But also at the same time, everyone on dating apps for the most part are just looking to hook up. And if you're just going through a breakup, sometimes that's not what you want. Like, I know, like, in the moment it sounds like, oh my god, it sounds like such a great idea, I just want to kiss someone else. I just want someone else to talk to, someone to text me all the time. But like, if you find someone to do that with, then most likely you will start to kind of miss your old relationship and be like, oh, I wish I was doing this with him instead. And for that reason, like, I just don't believe in dating apps, like especially right after a breakup. Although it can be fun to do when you're especially bored, I would just generally like to stay away from dating apps. So yeah, so those are all the tips that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed these. If you're going through the same situation, it'll help you, and just know that everything gets better and there are always people there for you, and you're definitely not alone. Like, everyone experiences heartbreak, and even though it is probably one of the most difficult feelings in the world, it will pass. And even if you have to write that down like above your bed or something like that, or like on your mirror, just write it will pass, because it will, and things will be so much better. And everything happens for a reason. Like, people are taken out of your life so that better people can come into your life and serve you a better purpose. Be sure to give this video a great big thumbs up and comment if this was helpful at all, and subscribe to my channel for new videos, because now that I am out of this grieving stage, I will finally be back with more, and I'm so excited. So yeah, see you guys.